Yo, guys, hey, what's up? It's your boy here, Ken. Want to talk about something that I think was newsworthy this past weekend coming out of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Longtime friends of mine know that New Japan Pro Wrestling, one of my favorite wrestling companies. Probably my favorite wrestling company has been for the last like 8 years since I followed the company. Um, I haven't done any New Japan news. I was going to do my thoughts and opinions on Wrestle Kingdoms Nights 1 and 2 that happened back in January when it happened. But things got caught up and I just wasn't able to do it. So I figured, in terms of, New Japan news, um, me coming back and talking about it, this would be a perfect uh, point to bring up here. For a news piece to start off and coming back and talking about New Japan. So this past weekend, New Japan Pro Wrestling, this past Easter weekend, they had the Genesis pay per view. The Genesis pay per view. I didn't think much going into it. I didn't think much of it going into it, but good match, some great matches. But the shocker that happened was the main event. The main event was Kota Ibushi defending the newly World Heavyweight Championship against Will Ospreay, who's been on a run lately, turning heel, transitioned over to the heavyweight division, now having his own faction, the United Empire, or United Empire. Um, Will Ospreay beat Kota Ibushi to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Um, I was kind of shocked. And I say I'm shocked for different reasons. And then I'll kind of play devil's advocate to my, I guess, do say my reactions or thoughts. So first off, Will Ospreay, like, congratulations. I mean, when Will Ospreay back in 2019 said that he would, or made his declaration that he was going to move over into the heavyweight division, I automatically knew Ospreay was going to, at some point, be in the contentions for the IWGP heavyweight title. I didn't think it would have been this soon, but when he said he was making that transition, it reminded me of like kind of like Kenny Omega, when Omega like had made his transition from the junior heavyweight to heavyweight division. So I knew it was going to only be a matter of time, but I thought it'd be like another like 2 years off, whatever. Which actually gets you at this point from the time that he made that transition, it's kind of been almost 2 years. Um, so Will Ospreay, 2 years ago, you fast forward, the guy had been killing it, winning the Super Junior Cup tournament like twice, 3-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. I mean, he's been on a roll. He moved to Japan. He wants to learn the language and has been trying to learn the language, I should say, the Japanese language. So he's like his feet are rooted in Japan. And I always found that an interesting move, considering like once Kenny Omega and the Elite Crew left New Japan to form AEW, he stepped up. He stepped up. Um, then you have Kota Ibushi, who a lot of people feel like he was long overdue for a world title, at least deserved a run. He just became IWGP champion slash Intercontinental champion at this past Wrestle Kingdom in January, and we're already here in the month of April, and already he lost it. I'm a little shocked by that. I was thinking Ibushi was gonna get like, if not a run to the summer, at least until next year's Wrestle Kingdom. I for sure thought Ibushi was gonna get like a 1 year run, kind of like Naito. Um, but no, Kota Ibushi got like a 3 month run on top, 3.5, and then they gave it to Will Ospreay this past weekend at the Genesis pay per view. Congratulations to Will Ospreay, because it was definitely a shocker. B, um, kind of cool fun fact, but so Will Ospreay is also the uh, uh, British heavyweight champion from Revolution Pro, but which coincidentally, AJ Styles, when he won the IWGP heavyweight title, he was also the Rev Pro World Champion at the same time. So it's kind of cool to see that same thing happen with Will Ospreay, because I've always thought Will Ospreay had that AJ Styles athleticism. He's just really good. Since transitioning into the heavyweight division, Ospreay has said that the crazy stuff that you would see him do, and they did in the junior weight division, or that he did do in the junior weight division, he's not going to be doing as much or just at all, because obviously he's gained some weight and he's like, I can't do all the crazy high flying stuff that I used to do. I can still be athletic, but just not, balls on wall, 150 miles per hour like I was in the cruiserweight division or junior weight division, because I was much lighter. Now I'm heavier. He's wrestling a little bit differently now. So he's adapting to his weight class, and I respect that, and I wish a lot of other wrestlers would do that too. But they don't. And just one of the reasons why I also like New Japan too, because New Japan always treated wrestling like a sport. New Japan is very. I mean, they have like their stories and their personalities and stuff like that for the different wrestlers. But New Japan, at the end of the day, it's sports centric. It's something that AEW had promised to kind of be, but 2 years in, and AEW is far from being sports centric as any other wrestling company. I'd say MLW is more sports centric and has more of a sports like feel than AEW, and I like AEW, but that's just one of my criticisms. One of a few criticisms I have of Dynamite, but anyway, so this was a shocking move. I think so. He already has two title defenses lined up. After he won the title, Will Ospreay had announced or called out Kazuchi Okada. Okada's the GOAT. Calls out Okada after Okada, before Okada could accept the challenge made by Ospreay. Oh God, I forgot his name. Shingo Shignaito or something like that. I forgot the dude's name. Who came out and he made a proclamation saying that he beat Ospreay at the last year at the tournament, that he deserves to get a crack at Ospreay first. If Ospreay can get through him, which I think is like 3 weeks, then he'll get to Okada. So Will Ospreay has two title defenses lined up. He has Okada in May, and then in like the next 2 or 3 weeks, he has the other guy. I can't think of his name right now. God, it's fucking killing me. Anyways, I don't know what New Japan are thinking about right now. Like, it was kind of shocking. Now, one, you could say on one retrospect that Kota Ibushi really wasn't lighting the world on fire as heavyweight champion. Like, they gave him a chance, but like after 3 months, they're like not really doing it. So they just kind of like, for shock value, just say like, hey, let's just give the belt to Ospreay and see where it goes and just kind of get some notoriety, because they've gotten everyone's attention. Like, the wrestling community is talking about like this sudden change all of a sudden, and I feel like more people are talking about this than they had Wrestle Kingdom, I feel like, within the wrestling community. So I don't know. I think New Japan are going through they're going through a creative process. I don't know what it is that they're doing, but I feel like they're really pushing hard for like a new generation. Because it kind of goes back. If you go back to like 2016, when guys like AJ Styles, the big four in New Japan for like the latter decade, the big four in New Japan were Tanahashi, who's the vet, Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Okada. Those were like the big four. Big five, if you kind of want to throw in Naito. But those were the big four. When AJ Styles and Nakamura left to go to WWE, other people had to step up. Those people that stepped up were Kenny Omega filling that void for AJ Styles. Okada was still doing his thing, and then you could say Tetsuya Naito was filling the void for Nakamura. And Tanahashi was still there. He was just a vet. He's just placeholder. But then you fast forward a little bit. Once the Young Bucks and then Omega left New Japan to form AEW, it was like, damn, enough more spots now have to be filled. So then they threw in Jay White, put Jay White in there. Okada, still young, still in his prime, like 33, so he's still going to be one of the big four. Naito getting his push. Now you've got Kota Ibushi, who they've built up in that position. I don't know if I would consider him like part of the new big four, but he's definitely one of the newer stars that are trying to push up to that main event level. And now you have Will Ospreay. So it seems like they're really pushing to make new stars. Like other people are stepping up, but New Japan are also trying to find like new stars and trying to stack that upper mid card deck. Because I don't, or even Evil being IWGP Heavyweight Champion, like sometime late last year, like that came out of nowhere. No one expected that, Evil being Heavyweight Champion. So it seems like they're trying a lot of different things. I don't know if I get the feeling in New Japan they're trying new things to try to see what sticks. So they're just kind of throwing whatever's on the wall. And not saying that Will Ospreay is a bad choice, because Will Ospreay is a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wrestler. I knew he was going to be heavyweight champion like shortly after Omega and the Elite Crew left New Japan. Soon after, Ospreay announced he was going to transition into the heavyweight division. And then Ospreay said he's going to officially move over to Japan. Ospreay saw a vacant spot. He worked to take it. So I commend him for it. I just didn't think that they were going to give him the belt this soon at the expense of Ibushi, who is only had like a 3-month run with the belt. And even going in retrospect of the title, when he won the title, they've had, the IC and the IWGP heavyweight title together since Naito for like the last 2 years. New Japan all of a sudden decided to say like, hey, let's unite both belts. Let's make a brand new championship that represents both the Intercontinental and heavyweight title. Just last weekend, or at the tail end of March, they unveiled their new IWGP World Heavyweight title. Why this belt seems significant? Here's why. Not only is this championship it's a fusion of, or it's the end result of both Intercontinental and heavyweight title being put together. But if memory serves me right, I believe New Japan said that this new World Heavyweight title, is going to have its own lineage. So the lineage that the IWGP Heavyweight title has had for I don't know how long, 50 years, doesn't carry over into this new iteration of the World Championship. You have that. And then on their website, they talked about the intricacies and the designs of the belt, how it kind of takes a little bit of the version 5 of this world title belt, how it takes different pieces of, past world championships and the Intercontinental belt and the history of the world title going back, and how it all culminates to form this new world title, to form for a new generation. Then after that, I think this past Friday, they announced another new belt, the Stronghold Championship, that they just announced. They'll be crowning the first inaugural champion with that in a couple of weeks. So they made another new belt, which you could kind of say is the replacement of the Intercontinental belt. So I'm saying all this to say, with the new world title, which apparently is going to have its own lineage, with this other new mid-card belt that they're going to try to get over, the unexpected win for Ospreay and getting the title, it really seems like New Japan are really pushing in a new direction. What that direction is, where it goes, I don't have a clue. I don't know. But it's kind of interesting to see. Nothing in terms of like shitty, where I just feel like they're just throwing random shit at the wall to kind of see what sticks. But looking at how New Japan have been booking things over the last month and a half, actually, culminating to this past weekend's pay-per-view, it really feels like New Japan are pushing in a new direction. They're trying to do something new for like a newer generation, and in the process of that, they're trying to build up new stars. So that would be, Kota Ibushi, now Will Ospreay. They're really trying to, and it'll be interesting to see who steps up at that point of this new era. It feels like New Japan trying to enter into a new era. That's a better, for lack of a better term, a new era for New Japan. That's what it kind of feels like, that I'm getting here. We just don't know what direction they're going in right now. You guys let me know what you think in the box below. What do you think about Will Ospreay being the new World Heavyweight Champion? Do you think Ibushi kind of got the short end of the stick? Did you think Kota Ibushi had a good title run, even though it was only for like 3 months? I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. If you watch New Japan, if you're a wrestling fan, do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Peace out.